Welcome to 35 to 1 Roulette Cruising. We've got a subscriber strategy. It's called One for the Comps. So this strategy was submitted by Mike. It's called One for the Comps. I'm assuming he named it that because when we place these bets, everywhere we place a bet is a one chip profit if it wins. Okay, so what we're going to do with this strategy is it's a $34 average, and we're going to buy in. We're just going to buy in for $100 right now. We're going to see how it does with $100. I got a $34 average. Remember, cash on the table. CPass, they'll scan it. That's how you get your points on the cruise, okay? All right, so there's $100. We're going to get $100 in orange chips. All right, so there is $100 in orange chips. They're $2 a piece. And the setup for this strategy is 6 chips in the middle dozen. You got 3 chips on the double street, 31 to 36. You got 2 chips, 25-29 corner. 2 chips on the 7-11 corner. 3 chips on the 1 to 6 double street. And we got 1 chip on the split. Okay, so with this setup and only a $100 buy-in, it allows us to have really 3 chances, 3 bullets to work with here. Now he says with this strategy, he says on a win, we only profit one chip. He says, but on a loss, double up, and if you lose again, walk away. All right, we're looking for a $40 profit to end our session, and we're going to see how many spins we can go. Of course, we're going to shoot for 20 spins, see if it holds up 20 spins. I can see it holding up for 20 spins because we have 34 of 38 numbers covered. Our wins should outrun our losses, but the problem is that loss is going to be a 17 chip loss. And if we double it up, it's going to take like 8 to 9 wins to recover that initial loss. Okay, so we're going to see how it goes. That's kind of my plan. If we do lose, I'm going to double it up. We're going to see if we can recoup our loss, and then I'm going to drop it back down to the $34 level. So it goes from 34, we'll go up to 68 if we have to. All right, so let's see how it goes. So here we go, spin number 1. Let's see how it holds up. And this one's called One for the Comps. Okay, 6. That is a 1 chip profit. I could rake it all. But this is, the 3 chips on here. It pays 5 to 1. There's 14 chips out here, and that would be 15 right there. We'd bring that back to our rack. Now what we've done is we've created a whole nother bullet here. Just needed 1 win to fill up for 1 bullet more. $22. That is a 1 chip win, or 1 chip profit, because there's 6 chips there. We have 5 here, so that would be 6, and then over here would be 6. So we'd only win the 1 stack over here, if that makes sense. Okay. All right, 36 is a 1 chip profit. All right, 0 is still a 1 chip profit. Okay, 21, a 1 chip profit. $35, a 1 chip profit. $30. Okay, so there's our first whack. So we're going to rake the table. Now what he says is we're going to double it up. So now we have to go 12 chips on the middle dozen here. We're going to go 6 chips on the double street, 6 chips on this double street. We're going to go 4 chips on the corner, 4 chips on that corner, and 2 chips on the 0 double 0 split. And let's see what happens. So that was 7 spins before we had our first whack. So let me keep that separate right there. So now we've increased our average. So we've gone from $34. Now we're at $68 for our average. Okay, 34. So that's only a 2 chip. That is a 2 chip profit. So we're going to stack that right here so we can keep up with it. Okay, 33. So 2 chip profit. And 27, there's another whack. Okay, so with that whack, we only have 9 chips left over, so we don't have enough to continue. We went, what's that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we went 10 spins. $34 was our average. You know, might have got 34 points for it. Okay, all right, but let's go one more session with it. All right, so we're gonna buy in again for $100. Okay, so now we're reset. We bought in for another $100. Let's see how many spins we can go with it now. All right, again, we're back at the $34 average. Okay, 34. That's 1 chip profit there. Okay, 36. It's 1 chip profit. Okay, 13. It's a 1 chip profit. And 27. There's a bust. All right, we're going to do it again. We're going to double it up. So we have 12 chips on the second dozen. 6 chips on double street. 4 chips on that corner there. 4 chips on this corner. 6 chips on this double street and 2 chips on the 0 double 0. All right, we only went 4 spins before we had our first bust. So we're at $34, and then now we're at $68. Let's see how many spins we can get out of it at $68. Hit 27 again. Okay. All right, so any strategy that has any numbers open, of course, it's going to hit them. Eventually, it's going to hit them. Can we go one more session? Let me go one more session with it. I'm just going to fast forward through it. Let me get... Okay, so I'm going to buy in again for another $100. I'm going to run the session out. I'll be right back. Okay, so there's the third session. We went 15 spins with it. Our first spin was a 27. It lost. We went right up to 68. Once we got to 68, we actually recouped our losses, and I was able to drop it back down to the $34. We went 1 spin. I think it hit 9. We had to go back up to 68. We went 5 spins before it got another bust. It busted on 12. So we finished right here with $20. So in for 100, out for 20. I don't know. This is a tough one. It's got really good coverage, but I think with just some bad runs on some numbers with it. I don't know. I don't know what to say about this one. I don't want to say it's bad because I've run it a few sessions and it seems to have done okay. It's held up okay. But the problem is when you have that loss, it's hard to recover that loss. This is one of those strategies that I think you would just walk up to the table and just see how long your $34 would go. All right, so walk up. Let's say you buy in for $50, get $2 chips, put $34 out on the table, and let it ride. And hopefully get lucky to maybe you can earn more than 34 points. Maybe you can go over 10 spins with it at the lowest level and just kind of see what happens with it. But there's some other things that you could try. Let's do that real quick. Let me show you that. All right, so this is what we're going to do. So this session here is just kind of something I would do to tweak it, just to see if you could make it work a little better. I'm not going to increase it. Okay, so I'm going to buy in for $200 more here. And we're going to set out the $34 bet. So remember, 6 chips, 3 chips, 2 chips, 2, and 3 here, and 1 on the split. Okay, and what I'm going to do is, one thing I've kind of been playing around with is if it lands on one of these double streets, I pull these 3 chips and I place them on these corners. So place 1 chip on the corners and 1 chip on this double street. That does help recover some money. It does pay a little better. Okay. And if it hits on a corner, you could pull these 2 chips here and let's just say place them down here. Okay. And hopefully it's going to shift to this end for you. And land on one of these. It'd be a little more profitable doing that, but by doing that, you put yourself more at risk because you've opened up 4 more numbers. And even if you pull the double street, you open up 6 more numbers, right? And probably if it lands here and this doesn't here, I'd probably leave it alone. I'd let it ride. I'd collect that 1 chip because hopefully it's going to land on something to at least profit 1 chip, right? So let's run it out this way. And as I play it, I'll try to explain what I'm doing with it, and let's just see if we can make it survive. I'm not going to increase it. I am going to keep a flat bet on it. I'm going to use the same number of chips as $34 the entire time and just accept the 34 points every 10 spins. Okay. All right. So we landed on a 2. All right. So we're going to go 1 chip profit there, and then let's take these 3 chips, and it's a risk. But with everything, every strategy needs to have some risk to make it profitable. Okay, so let's see what happens here. And I'm still playing with the same chips, 34 chips. I haven't changed that. All right, so 18, that is a 1 chip profit, because if I was to rake it all, okay, and then that 1 chip right there, that would pay. And then we go back 3, 2, 2, 3, 1 there. Bring 1 chip back to our rack. All right, and just accept that 1 chip profit right there. Put everything back to normal. And you can shift these wherever you want. This is where he said to place them, so this is where I'm placing them. All right, 24. All right, again, that's that 1 chip profit there. Now this is just a modification that I think I was kind of testing out, trying out with it. I like the coverage. I really like the coverage. 34 numbers of 38 numbers. It's really good coverage, but we got to figure out some way to make it profitable to recover those losses, because they are going to happen. You are going to have a loss. There is no doubt that a whack is coming. And 27. See? So there it is. There's that bad number there. Okay. Now we're just going to rebet the same exact thing. All right, 6, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and 3 and 2. Let's see, it hit 27. I could pull that corner if I wanted to, but I'm gonna see if I get a one chip profit off of it. Okay, 25. So see, if I'd have pulled those two, that would have been a loss. So we're going to take that one chip there, and now we're going to take those 2 chips off of that corner there, and we're going to press these up right here and see if we can get a win off of that. All right, 1. Okay, so that did work out. All right, so there's 4 chips on there, so that should be a 20 chip win right there. All right, there's 20. Now let's reset back to our original. And then we're going to bring 7 chips back to our rack. Now we're set up. Now we could go ahead and pull. Let's do it. Let's just, hey, that's what we're trying it for. Test it out. But again, we're putting ourselves at risk for leaving 6 numbers exposed again. 6 more numbers, so now we have 10 numbers exposed. And see, that's why you have to be careful with what we pull, right? So now we're going to just reset back to our normal. All right, 6, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1. Okay, 23. That's a 1 chip profit there. Okay, 3. That's a 1 chip profit. Let's pull these 3. All right. All right, this is spin 11. So we've gone 11 spins already. We're down probably 40 bucks right now. Okay, 23. So that is a 1 chip profit. So those are going to go back there, and then that's that 1 chip right there. I'm going to reset back to our normal. And we've only had one time we've pressed and we've got a 7 chip profit off of it. So, and then we've kind of won a few times, so I think it's getting close to not breaking even, but it's helping. Okay, so 4, that is a 1 chip profit. We're going to pull these 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we're at 4 chips, 3, 3, 6, and 1. Okay, 16, that's only a 1 chip profit. And we're going to reduce these back down to our original. Okay, 4, there's a 1 chip profit. We'll take these 3, 1, 2, and 3 there. And it hits 9. All right, that's a whack. All right, we're just going to reset back. 6, 3, 2, 2, 3, and 1. We're on spin number 16 here. All right, 17, that's a 1 chip profit there. Okay, 22, 1 chip profit. Okay, 36, a 1 chip profit. And then we're going to take these 3. $29, good hit. So that should be 24 chips because there's 3 chips on here. Okay, now we're going to reset back. 3, 2, 6, 2, 3, 1. That is a 10 chip profit right there. We'll bring those 10 chips back to our rack. That was spin number 19. So here's spin number 20. Let's see, it landed here. Let's take these 2. Let's risk it. Let's see if we can get it back. That's a good move. All right, there's 10. Again, that's a 24 chip win. Okay, there's 24 chips. I'm going to reset. And there's 10 chips. We're bringing back to our rack again. Okay. All right, so that was 20 spins with, you know, it's a slight modification from what Mike sent us. Okay. I went 20 spins with it. Our average was, you know, $34 the entire time. So it's easy to keep track of how many points you would be receiving for that. As long as you kept it the same the entire time, it's easy to keep up with. The previous sessions, I'm not sure where our points would have been. You know, might have gotten 40 points, give or take, on each session, possibly. You know, but we lost $100 every time, pretty much. I mean, you know, we finished with, you know, $10 or $20 or something like that. So I don't know if it's good points for the money. Does that make sense? So we are down for this session. Let's see, we're down $20. All right, so we lost $20. We earned probably close to 70 points for that, you know, for that with that modification. I think it's worth it to take the 3 chips and shift them if you land on the double streets. I think that's a good option for you, Mike, with this one. Just to kind of give yourself a chance to win a little more, make a little profit, and then drop it back down to normal and kind of let it ride and collect those single chips. That's probably the only thing I can say about this is with it just flat bet, it's okay, but I wouldn't recommend doubling it. It just the losses are just going to come along and it's going to kill you. So as far as comp value for this one, I like the coverage of it, and if you get on a good run, it could have a great comp value. But of course, the 3 sessions I ran, it didn't do very well. But you can't say that it's a terrible strategy based on the few sessions that I went. But as far as comp value goes, I'm probably going to give it a 4 because there is a chance that you could get on a good run and make some good points off of it. And maybe if you increase the units. You know, these were $2 units. We had 17 chips out there. If you increased it up to $5 units, you would be at at $85. Okay, so you bid $85. So can you buy in for $300? Do $85? You know, just let it ride and collect that 85 points. I don't know. You could try that if you can afford it. So you know, comp value, we're gonna give it a 4. Profitability, I don't see us making any profit with this strategy. So profitability is going to be a 1. Now as far as ease of setup goes, ease of setup is pretty easy. You know, it's just 6 chips, 3 chips, 2 chips, 3 chips, 2 chips, and 1. It's pretty easy to set it out. So ease of setup, I'm going to probably give it a 4. It's really easy to set it out. I think I could describe to somebody how to put this out and they would be able to set it up perfectly every time. All right, wouldn't be any issue with that. So anyway, so that is the strategy that Mike sent over, the one for the comp strategy. If you could, send me a strategy. I'm looking for strategies all the time, something to share with the channel. Send it to roulettecruising@gmail.com. Like I've showed you today, I try to spin it out, either 10, 20, 30 spins, whatever. And if it falls apart, I go another session or I go another session. So I just want to make sure that it has a chance to work or not. Okay. But other than that, make sure to like this video for me. And if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe to 35-to-1 Roulette Cruising. And until next time, happy cruising. We'll see you. Bye.